XL Center in downtown Hartford, where fans are filing in for the second half of a UConn basketball doubleheader. It's the 11-time national champion UConn women's basketball program taking on Big East foe Georgetown, live on SNY. And hello from downtown Hartford, everybody. With Megan Kuhlmo, I'm Alan Bestwick. Maria Marino will join us shortly. So the Huskies come in ranked 4th in the national polls and in first place in the Big East, undefeated at 7-0 in conference play. And when we look at this last stretch of games for the Huskies, one player stands out, and that's the play of Dorka Juhas. Boy, has she been something.
You know, she's playing so confidently right now and with such a purpose. And, you know, the graduate transfer from Ohio State, she's playing the best basketball of her career. She just knows what she wants to do when she catches the ball. And I just see the way she plays with such a purpose. Great decision making here. Her low post moves have become so good. She, quite like Aaliyah Edwards, has become unstoppable in that low post. 14 points, 11 rebounds, some pretty impressive numbers that she's averaging right now. Certainly been one of the keys to the game and a key to the game in this one, presented by Nissan. So the opponent for today for UConn are the Georgetown Hoyas. They committed 8-8 on the season, but struggling a bit in conference play. Just one win against 6 losses for the Hoyas. What's the mode, the theme here for Georgetown coming into this one? Well, Coach James Howard was telling us before the game they've been struggling to find consistency. So tonight, what they've got to do today, just play the game in 5-minute segments, make UConn work really hard, no second chance points, and no transition layups. Check out today's starting lineups presented by Subaru of New England. On the left, key players for Georgetown, number 1, Kelsey Ransom, and number 33, Grace Ann Bennett. They're 2 senior captains and leaders. And on the right, familiar starting 5 now for the Huskies, and for Gino Auriemma. Back on the sidelines for UConn, Mule, Lopez, Seneschal, Griffin, Edwards, and Juhas. Gino 47-3 all-time against Georgetown. Pretty good atmosphere for the second game of 2 on a day. Atmosphere. I wasn't sure how many fans would actually come back into the arena after the men played in this building earlier today. Outstanding crowd. Fun. Huskies in the home whites. Underneath, Lopez Seneschal with the feed from Juhas. Terrific spacing, great cut. Huskies applying a little front court pressure. Broken by the Hoyas. That's going to be a travel by Jada Claude. Turnovers, something that Georgetown was plagued by the last 2 times these teams played in this building. It was February 20th of last year. UConn forced 30 Georgetown turnovers. Now the Huskies committed 22 themselves. There's their first of the day. Am I leading themes here? Leading themes? We shall see. 3 players in the front court for pressure. We haven't seen UConn, you know, impose too much full court pressure. It's nice to see it early. I think it gives them better energy from the opening tip. Certainly a chance to come out and get into a big run early. Here's Grace Ann Bennett, 33, one of those senior leaders for Georgetown, defended well by Aaliyah Edwards. Ball will be out of bounds off UConn. Outstanding defense there by Aaliyah Edwards. Didn't leave her feet, kept her hands up. Just really smart position defense. Terrific. Couldn't have done it any better, could you? That's great. Here's Kennedy Fauntleroy, fabulous freshman for Georgetown, misses the shot. Edwards with the rebound. Edwards with the run and the feed from Mule. Great run there by Edwards, but smart decision there by Mule to not stop looking and to keep attacking. Here is Ransom, cut off by Edwards. Back outside, Moore with the 3. That goes. Christina Moore, one of a couple of transfer students into this Georgetown roster this year. Yeah, she played 4 years at Florida. And is here as a grad student. Battle tested. Lopez Seneschal off the Juhas screen, too strong. Aubrey Griffin with offensive glass, but it gets knocked around. It'll be UConn's basketball. Substitution for Hoyas, 15, Scott.
Quarter number one and jumping on the opponent has been a strong suit of the UConn program this year.
That just shows you that mentally they come out sharp and ready to play.
Little conversation among the officiating crew about the shot clock and where it should be. Jules Gallion, Timothy Resch, and Courtney Robinson, the officials for today's game. They set the timer at 20. Knocked away from Juhas.
A little careless with the basketball, but well defended by Georgetown.
There's Fauntleroy, short on the shot. Mule will let it go out of bounds. That's a turnover. Steals are a strong suit of this Georgetown team. When you look at the statistics, the backcourt for Georgetown, Kelsey Ransom, one of the two, and Kennedy Fauntleroy, the other, they are second and third in the Big East Conference in steals per game.
That's just good team defense. They get in their stance, they play hard, they anticipate well.
Shot clock down to 7. Lopez Seneschal for 3, around and out. Rebound on the floor goes to Moore for Georgetown. So a 1-point ball game as we are 2.5 minutes in. Moore defended well by Mule. There's Bennett.
Yeah, Mule did a great job getting over that screen.
Fauntleroy drives, runs right into Edwards, full steam. Ball will go out of bounds off of UConn. No foul called either way.
Yeah, interesting no call. Oh, how about a little right hand action there? Could have gone either way. I much prefer the refs just let them play.
And a three-pointer from Brianna Scott with time running out for Georgetown. A 6-0 run over the last minute and 40 for the Hoyas. Edwards triple team in the paint. Get it inside. Juhas gets fouled.
UConn lucky to get that ball to Juhas. It was a near turnover.
Look at Azzi Fudd on the UConn bench. You see the line on her Wednesday at St. John's. We will see Fudd in the ball game today as well, as she continues to work her way back to full playing minutes. So Dorka Juhas, just talked about her in the opening of the broadcast at the free throw line for the Huskies.
Just playing the best basketball of her career right now, Juhas. Knows what she wants to do. Her low post game has been so strong. And yet she can knock down 15, 19 footers.
I love what she said after the game in St. John's Wednesday about rebounding and why that 1,000th career rebound was important to her. She said rebounding is about want to.
Yeah.
And yeah, the quote, it's more about showing effort for the team as that's turned over to UConn. And what more can you ask? Effort.
I mean, yeah, she's just been so good in every facet of the game. And she's been an outstanding leader for this team as well.
Juhas draws the double team. Griffin to Mule for 3. They're going to check that and make sure it was.
A great pass from Aubrey Griffin to Mule.
Courtney Robinson giving the signal to the scoring table on her way back up the court. Then at the next whistle, they'll go back and look at that to be sure whether it was a 2 or a 3. There's Bennett on Juhas. The right-hand spin, no. Juhas with the rebound. Huskies will look to push. Griffin ahead. Takes the pass, runs into traffic. It goes out of bounds off UConn.
Georgetown has defended that transition game very well so far. I think James Howard's got to be pretty happy with his first 5 minutes of action.
Right.
First Georgetown team, yeah.
Here's a look at Coach Howard, James Howard, in his 6th year at Georgetown. 12th year overall as a head coach. He told us in the Hoya locker room before the game that he needed to take the game, as you said earlier, in 5-minute segments. You can't play the long game against UConn.
Right there, Aubrey Griffin a little too overzealous, gets called for that foul.
That's her first.
This game is physical right now.
Yes. Strip there. Griffin knocked the ball away from Ransom. Inside, a spin move by Jenkins. No. Speaking of physical, Aaliyah Edwards wrestling the rebound away. Mule with a shake and bake, tried to feed it into traffic to Juhas.
Perhaps too unselfish there. I think she had the lane to go in for that right-handed layup.
So Gino taps Azzi Fudd and says, your turn.
Crowd loves it.
So Fudd into the ball game for Griffin. Edwards drives, double teamed, traveled. Couldn't get a handle on the ball to do something with it.
Georgetown has done a really good job in that low post to take Aaliyah Edwards away, and Juhas to some extent.
Collapsing 2, sometimes 3 players when the ball goes into the paint. That means somebody's open somewhere. Basically daring UConn to make 3-pointers.
Yeah, let's see how Azzi Fudd can change that dynamic now that she's in the game.
Yeah. Here's Ransom. Defended by Mule, gets away, but the shot doesn't go. Juhas with good position for the rebound. Juhas faked the pass, took it to the glass, it didn't go. Aaliyah Edwards just got whacked fighting for the rebound. Fortunately, wearing that mask, though shaking it off on her way back down the court. Past halfway through the opening quarter. Fauntleroy left open on a miscommunication defensively that left Nika Mule shrugging her shoulders. Stopped a 2.5-minute dry spell for Georgetown, that bucket. It's Mule. Lopez Seneschal off the Edwards screen, no. Rebound all the way out to Scott at the free throw line. 1-point ball game. Fauntleroy, no. And Fudd gets that rebound for UConn.
UConn doing a terrific job on the defensive glass, given only one opportunity.
There's a steal. Knocked away from Edwards. Fauntleroy on Mule. And Mule altered the shot. And then Juhas gets fouled hard, trying to get the rebound away. Brings us to a timeout with 3:44 to go in quarter number 1. It is just a 1-point UConn lead here in Hartford. The first quarter media timeout here at XL Center. UConn with just a 1-point lead over Georgetown. Gino Auriemma coaching his team up in the huddle. His second game back with the team after stepping away.
It was good to take a step back and see it from a distance. There came a point where I could sit there and not be a part of it and not be there. And even though we have people here in this office who can take this and go with it, whether I'm here for a month or not, I still feel it's my responsibility. I need to be here.
Gino talking with SNY on Friday and with the media on Saturday about the time he took away, the tolls and the physical problems and the emotional toll of losing his mom have taken on him, and really given a good explanation of what was going through his mind and how it was impacting his coaching the team.
Yeah, and you know, you forget that he's human, right?
Yeah.
And there's so much, there's so much stress and pressure, but at the end of the day, the basketball stuff and all of that doesn't matter when it comes down to your family. So he took the time he needed, and I'm glad he did, and I'm glad he feels a lot better.
Looking for his Huskies to turn up the offensive efficiency and cut down the turnovers after that timeout. Shot clock running down, single digits. Fudd will get called for a travel. That'll be the 6th UConn turnover in 6.5 minutes of play in this game.
Well, Georgetown's defense has given Gino Auriemma's team fits right now.
So a 1-point UConn lead. Huskies having turned the ball over 4 times in the last 3 minutes. Tried to get it inside. Well defended. The long-range shot that goes. Who was that? That was Brianna Scott.
Let's see if UConn can execute some offense here.
Juhas high glass didn't hit the rim at all.
I don't think that's necessarily the shot Gino Auriemma wanted, as Aaliyah Edwards goes to the scorer's table to come in.
Aubrey Griffin came in for Edwards off the timeout. Here is Ransom, drives on Fudd, no. Again, a good box out from Juhas.
She's been in terrific positions all game so far.
Lopez Seneschal with the pull-up, no, off balance, didn't get the foul call. Upraised hands and appeal, did no good. They usually don't.
You know, one thing James Howard told us before the game, he didn't want to give UConn any second chance opportunities. His team has done an outstanding job limiting UConn to one shot.
Inside to Jenkins, over Juhas, no. Nobody there for Georgetown for the rebound. Huskies trying to push the pace. Georgetown has done an excellent job getting back. AZ Fudd's first three is long. And a rebound by Scott.
Yeah, another one and done.
Here is Kennedy Fauntleroy. She has been the Big East Freshman of the Week 4 times in the last 6. Makes the inbounds pass to Jenkins. It doesn't go. Again, the Georgetown defensive retreat as Fauntleroy knocks that out of the hands of Lopez Seneschal. UConn ball. Dorky Juhas will go to the bench. Aaliyah Edwards will come back in. And certainly the way this first quarter has gone, very much the way of Georgetown, who, by the way, didn't have the easiest time getting to Hartford. Their charter airplane had a mechanical problem. They were going to have to fly a mechanic in to address it, so they jumped on the bus and made the drive from D.C. here. And it took them about 7 hours. They got to Hartford at 10:30 last night. There is Lopez Seneschal. They're going to call an illegal screen on Aaliyah Edwards. And Nika Mule not happy with it, addressing it with the referee. Gino not happy with it, addressing it with the referee.
There's been a lot of physical play already this game.
So a 2-point Georgetown lead. Almost 5 minutes without scoring for UConn. Here's Grace Ann Bennett looking for Ransom. Now Fauntleroy, she'll pull up. 2 won't go. Bennett gets the rebound. It was overshot underneath by Griffin. Inside of a minute to go, quarter number 1.
Georgetown making it difficult for UConn to even make a cut.
Lopez Seneschal short with the 3, rebound to Georgetown. UConn just 3 of 11 from the floor in this opening quarter, 1 of 5 from outside. Fauntleroy with the pull-up over Griffin, way off. Bennett fights for the rebound, saves it to Moore. 10 to shoot. Back into Bennett, gonna have a whistle and a foul.
The refs are gonna have to start calling more fouls.
I believe that was on Bennett on a push-off underneath, trying to fight for that inbound
Yeah,
ball.
a lot of contact away from the ball. I love aggressive play, don't get me wrong.
I'm shocked to hear that. Final 15 seconds, quarter number 1. Can UConn break this near 6-minute scoring drought? Edwards, big steps and gets the bucket in the paint.
That's certainly a way to do it.
5 seconds to go. Ransom, she'll throw it up. Mule challenged it. Might have got a hand on the ball. And so Georgetown accomplishing everything they wanted to in this first quarter. UConn turning the ball over 7 times in quarter number 1. The Hoyas lead the Huskies by 2. Scenes from this 22-23 season of UConn women's basketball as we come back to start the second quarter off of the lowest scoring quarter in a first quarter of the season for UConn. Didn't we just show you how first quarter's been their thing earlier?
Maybe he's wishing he was home.
UConn turning the ball over 7 times in that first quarter and shooting 33%, 4 of 12 from the floor. Georgetown shooting 75% from 3 in that quarter. They are a 28% three-point shooting team on the season. And so we start the next 5 minutes, according to James Howard. Ball inbound. That's going to be a travel.
Well, that was just the mere presence of Aaliyah Edwards forced that travel.
Aaliyah Myricks took the extra shuffle. Maria Marino was listening in on that last UConn huddle.
Yes, I was. And Alan, in the first time out of the game, Gino said right now they're a more aggressive team. But in this last huddle, he was even more frustrated. He said, we need to offensive rebound. They go after every ball, and we don't. We showed up today expecting for them to suck, and they're kicking our butts.
That's right.
That pretty much sums it up, doesn't it?
That's what it looks like, for sure.
So UConn retains possession here on the alternating possession arrow. So Gino Auriemma's team equaling Georgetown on total rebounds, but not getting much in the paint. Georgetown collapsing hard inside. Going to be an obstruction foul there called on Ransom. That'll be her first. Ransom, the junior from South River, New Jersey. Let's see, she plays the most minutes, takes the most shots, gets the most rebounds, scores the most points on Georgetown.
She's got a steal in every game dating back to last year.
Lopez Seneschal has it stripped. Fauntleroy got a hand in on that one and now has the ball for the Hoyas. Kennedy Fauntleroy, 5'7" freshman from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Aaliyah Edwards incoming.
Good active hands there by Edwards and good footwork.
Mick, it's under your chair.
Oh, wow.
It's under your chair.
Whoops.
I wasn't kidding when I said incoming. Here's Ransom, defended by Uhas. Bennett tried to get a pass inside, and Mule stole it away. Then Mule gets fouled. Ransom doesn't like the call.
She thought she picked it clean.
That'll be her second foul in short succession.
Good team D there by UConn. Look pretty clean.
Yeah.
Some dramatics there by Mule to help sell it.
Selling a call, for sure. Uhas, Lopez, Seneschal, Edwards, Fudd, and Mule, the five on the floor for UConn. Trying to get it in. Uhas goes out of bounds off of Georgetown. 16 on the timer for the Huskies. Grace Ann Bennett, the senior from Lake George, New York, one of the two team captains, 33.
She's got a tough assignment on Uhas, and she's doing a terrific job thus far.
Here's Edwards. Left spin. No.
It's a good move, and if they're going to guard her one-on-one down there, that's the shot she should take.
At least the first shot she's missed in the game. Now 2 for 3. Here's Ransom. Bennett sets the screen on Mule. Uhas comes out, tries to set the trap. Ransom, nice application of the brakes. Bennett fights with Uhas for the rebound. Mule goes flying. And the ball goes out of bounds to UConn.
It certainly has not been a pretty basketball.
Oh, goodness. If there were questions about whether Georgetown were here to put up a fight, those have been answered by now. Again, Georgetown coming in, having lost 4 straight, 1-6 in Big East play.
And you know, James Howard said he wants them to compete. They are competing.
This shot from UConn rebounded by Scott. There are the field goal percentages. Neither team with a pretty shooting outlook in this game so far. Full credit to the aggressive defense on both ends. There's Scott. No. Rebounded by Fauntleroy as an offensive board for the Hoyas. Scott all alone, just outside the arc. And rebound on the miss by Edwards. Lopez Seneschal pushes, runs right into a defender, kicks, no foul. Over to Fudd, gets set to go for 3.
That's a game changer right there. If Fudd can consistently knock down three-point shots, boy, is her release just so incredibly quick. That'll open up the inside game.
First points of the day for AZ Fudd. Here's more. Juhas with the block. Huskies will push. Lopez Seneschal runs and gets the pass and the bucket. Comes up injured after the play. Looks like maybe she's just kind of twisted her ankle a little on the landing. But is good to go to the bench and a run. Nika Mule with the perfect pass to Lopez Seneschal. UConn has the lead. Join us here at the XL Center or at Gamble Pavilion. Today in downtown Hartford, it is a 3-point UConn lead. Some of the shooting numbers on the ball game so far. Look at that 2-point shot total for Georgetown.
Yeah, they've been struggling from the floor. No question about it. A team that normally shoots 39% from the floor. Struggling here early, and you have to give UConn's defense a lot of credit. They make it very difficult for you to get the shot that you want.
So after Georgetown led by a couple at the end of one, UConn has run off 5 consecutive points in this quarter. Another miss from outside. Second chance coming up here for Georgetown. That is the freshman Victoria Rivera with the miss. And a rebound for Juhas. 5 rebounds now for Juhas in the game. Here's Edwards driving, gets fouled. That'll be Ariel Jenkins with her second.
The more they can get the ball to Aaliyah Edwards in the low post, I think more good things will come for this UConn offense.
So Aaliyah Edwards stepping to the free throw line here for the first time today. Some of these numbers from last year to this for Aaliyah Edwards. Her rebounds per game up from 5.1 to 9.3, so nearly doubled. Her points per game last year to this, 7.7 to 16.4. Over doubled.
And the sky's the limit for this young lady. She's just such a talented basketball player and is playing with such confidence right now.
1 of 2 from the strike there. So 4-point UConn lead. Jada Claude defended by Griffin. Here's Brianna Scott defended by Juhas, and there'll be a foul called underneath. That'll be the first on Juhas.
Like they could have called a foul there.
First personal foul, first team foul.
It's a physical game. Good effort there by both players.
So here is Brianna Scott, the sophomore from Reston, Virginia. Started about half the team's games a season ago as a freshman. Christy Winters Scott, her mom, player, now broadcaster.
Yeah, Hall of Fame player from the University of Maryland.
And the second doesn't go either for Scott. Here's Flood. Foul on the floor. That's going to be, I believe, on Fauntleroy. It will be her first for the freshman.
Well, the game has been so physical thus far, and now they're starting to call all of this physical contact. It's been happening the whole game.
Not uncommon for an officiating crew to get together at the end of a quarter or during a timeout and discuss how the game is going from their end.
Good inside position there by Jenkins.
Yeah. And make some adjustments as the game goes. Here's Fauntleroy on Fudd. Blocked by Fudd.
Really good footwork by Fudd. Just kept her hands up, and that was just the height differential. See, she's just taller. No chance of a foul. Heads up play there by Fudd.
You heard Gino.
Not happy with the way Dorka reacted.
Jenkins got loose from Juhas and got the bucket for Georgetown.
Yeah, good execution by the Hoyas.
2-point UConn lead halfway through the second quarter here in Hartford. Inside to Juhas here, gets knocked away.
I mean, that's just sloppy by Juhas, not holding onto the ball. Good active hands by Georgetown.
Scott, of UConn's 9 turnovers, 5 have been, as that missed from the outside, 5 have been by Edwards and Juhas. Getting the ball taken away in the paint. Juhas from just beyond the free throw line, no. That rebound will be Fauntleroy. Pushes the pace. Edwards got a hand on the ball. Seneschal waiting to check back in for UConn. Mule defends Fauntleroy. Stolen by Fudd. Pass goes behind Mule. Can't track it down. And another UConn turnover.
Think about the time that Fudd has missed as Gino looks a bit perplexed, but that play was just kind of a lack of, you know, just that chemistry that you get from playing together. Fudd missed quite a month of basketball. That's why that turnover occurred.
So Dorka Juhas will go to the bench. Coach is making his coaching remarks. And Lopez Seneschal back in. Good to see after that awkward landing she had on the run out before. Claude will go all the way to the rim and get the bucket. Jada Claude.
What a strong move.
Transfer from Morehead State, spent 2 years playing at Duke as well. Here's Aaliyah Edwards from beyond the free throw line, and it goes.
Mule almost walked with the ball. UConn just out of rhythm. Edwards bailed them out.
Leading scorer in the ball game is Aaliyah Edwards with 7. From the corner, too strong for Scott, and the rebound to Fudd.
Fudd needs to come out. She looked like she was wincing in pain.
Just waved at the bench, and she is limping on the court. Very much so, not something we want to see. There's Aaliyah Edwards, too strong. Aubrey Griffin skies for the rebound and gets fouled.
Even though, interesting, even though Fudd is limping, she went over there to get in the huddle.
First down, Claude, fifth on the team.
Look at that rebound by Aubrey Griffin.
So AZ Fudd goes to the bench and beyond, and that's not a great sign with the athletic trainer Janelle Francisco.
Griffin, 2 shots.
Her parents looking on.
So stressful for the parents.
So Aubrey Griffin at the free throw line for UConn. 1 of 2 for the Huskies. So it's Lopez, Seneschal, Mule, Juhas, Griffin, and Edwards, the 5 on the floor, as we come down to 3 minutes to go in this second quarter. And again, the headline of the moment as Moore throws up a 3 and gets it to go. Christina Moore. The headline of the moment is AZ Fudd, just back from missing 8 games with a knee injury, has just gone back to the UConn locker room. That's a kick ball. Kick back up again. On the timer for UConn. Lopez Seneschal started to cut, but Ransom saw that coming. End-to-end, the pull-up. No, fight for the rebound. Mule will get fouled.
That was just toughness and desire there by the shorter Mule.
Looking at AZ Fudd at the top of the key.
Here she is.
Ooh, that contact right there. She and Jenkins banged together.
Yeah, so the question is, what did she do? Did she re-aggravate that knee? We don't know. We'll wait to get word from the medical staff when we can.
Hopefully just a scare. Certainly our concerns and our best wishes are with Fudd right now. Here's Nika Mule. At the free throw line for UConn. Lost in a lot of the story from the other night for Nika Mule. 9 points, none from 3. Very aggressive taking the ball to the rim at St. John's on Wednesday. And gets the free throws for the Huskies there. 5 for Mule. Just a 2-point UConn lead. Ransom defended by Griffin. Here's Fauntleroy. Shot clock down to 5. Works off a screen. Got it to go. That's a 2. 2 for Kennedy Fauntleroy to tie the ball game.
Fluidity on the offensive end and with another turnover.
Bad pass. Ranson anticipates. Here's Myrick's. Moore tries to spin around Uhas, and that's going to be a foul on Moore, hooked with the arm. There's another look at the AZ Fudd contact.
See her there at the top of the key, 35.
Yeah.
You see her grab her leg or grimace with that collision.
Oh boy. Best wishes for Fudd. And we wait for any word. So a minute to go in quarter number 2. Lopez Seneschal, kind of a desperate throw and thought she was fouled. Aubrey Griffin will get fouled.
Well, Lopez Seneschal thought she was fouled at the shot and then Aubrey Griffin got pushed out of bounds. The foul was called on Moore. So there she thought she was fouled on the shot. It was short.
Griffin saved it and then got nudged.
2 shots.
So back to the line is Aubrey Griffin. Reminder, Gary Apple and Kara Walters have the first half highlights and analysis on the UConn Women's Basketball Halftime Show, presented by Duncan, coming up very shortly. So the free throws there from Griffin. She's up to 3 points all from the free throw line in this game. Two-point UConn lead. Fauntleroy around Edwards. Ransom cut off quickly by Griffin. Left hand will draw the foul. Now Kelsey Ransom, the junior from South River, New Jersey, and the team leader in about everything in this first half, has had a tough game from the floor. Defended well by Griffin and Mule. She's 0 for 5 from the floor. But on the defensive end, has 2 assists, 2 steals on the defensive end.
Playing a tough first half here is Kelsey Ransom, and UConn is making it difficult for her to get going offensively.
Mule will travel. Just
She
drag
did,
that
yeah,
left
she
foot.
dragged her pivot foot. And those are the mental mistakes that just drive coaches crazy.
UConn averaging 16.9 turnovers per game this season. That was their 13th, and we're still a half a minute from halftime. Fortunately for them, the UConn defense has been good enough to keep Georgetown from cashing in on a ton of them. We have set the final shot. Uhas now on Fauntleroy. Freshman drives the paint. Uhas got a hand on the ball. 4 seconds, 3. Mule will throw it up. It will not go. But certainly the first 20 minutes of this ball game not going the way anyone would have envisioned by the prior results of the season and the team's records. It is a 1-point UConn lead, 24-23 at halftime.
Gino, not the prettiest 20 minutes of basketball. What's your thoughts on your team's effort there?
Well, there was none. So, combination of, you know, very little effort to rebound the ball, to play defense, to attack on offense, to move without the ball. I mean, it's the first time all year. We just had a lot of guys not show up today. And I guess you got to live with that. And hopefully in the second half, you know, we can get something going. But, you know, right now we really don't have any kind of flow to what we're doing.
Well, concerning when Fudd seemed to come up limping on her right leg. Any thoughts on what happened with her?
No, I didn't see it. So I know she ran back into the locker room. So we'll find out, I guess, when we go back there.
Okay, good luck second half, Gino. Thanks.
Yep.
Our interview with the Hall of Famer, presented by Dunkin'. Well, this is probably the highlight of the first half for the Huskies. Mule to Lopez Seneschal, but it's just a 1-point lead at the half over Georgetown. Back live at the XL Center in Hartford. AZ Fudd has just returned to the floor with that ice bag strapped on her right knee. We are told by UConn she will not return to the ball game. And with that, we welcome you back courtside at the XL Center with Megan Kuhlmo. I'm Alan Bestwick. UConn leading Georgetown by just 1 as we get ready to start the third quarter. In the second quarter, with 3 minutes and 26 seconds to go, Fudd had contact with a player from Georgetown, and that has what resulted in her not returning to this ball game.
Yeah, you can see her at the top of the key, and she bumps into 21 there for Georgetown. It doesn't seem, you could see her reaction immediately. And then she left the court and went backstage with Janelle Francisco. So not a good sign for UConn fans and for Fudd, but you know, we're just hopeful that it's not too bad.
Remember, that is the same knee that she injured in the December 4th game at Notre Dame that caused Fudd to miss 8 games. She had just come back on Wednesday night at St. John's. And that, as her parents look across the court at her.
Well, the double thumbs up that she just gave to her mom and dad. Hopefully that is, you know, a sign of what it means, you know?
Yes.
Good news. It's not great news, but we just hope it's not too bad.
So we start this third quarter with a Georgetown turnover. UConn leading by just 1. And that'll be UConn's ball. Sorry.
And Gino talked about the team's effort. Let's see if their effort is better.
That's her mom, Katie Smirka-Duffy, and her dad, Tim Fudd, and the back and forth across the court.
So without knowing anything, that seems to be a good sign.
We'll just be hopeful. Aubrey Griffin gets blocked by Bennett. UConn basketball 16 on the timer. So how about just a Georgetown team 8-8 and 1-6 in Big East play, and they play UConn to within 1 at halftime. It's everything the Hoyas wanted, right?
Yeah, they've been more aggressive. And their coach wanted them to be competitive. They are competing.
5 to shoot. 4. Fudd inside to Juhas, contested and good.
They used every bit of that shot clock.
Juhas over Bennett as the timer ran out to get the first UConn points in the third quarter. Fauntleroy just lost Mule. From the corner, Claude, too strong. Fight for the rebound on the floor. Tied up ball. That will be UConn's on the alternating possession now. Marie Marino has just finished visiting with Georgetown's head coach.
Yep, James Howard told me that he said to his team, we're right there. Coming in, we talked about playing 5-minute segments. Well, they've done that so far. Now we have to come back and still play as if the score is 0-0. We'll get to the media timeout, see where we are against UConn. That's all you can do.
So far, his team is doing everything it wanted to, and there is a 3 from Lopez Seneschal.
And Lopez Seneschal needed to knock down a shot, and UConn needed her to knock down a shot. They've been so stagnant offensively.
Fauntleroy over the top of Griffin, missed. Chance for UConn to get on a bit of a run here to start this third quarter. Mule drives right into traffic and will draw a foul on Jada Claude.
Good aggressive play by Mule, just toughness there, knowing that the foul was coming.
She is not afraid of the contact.
Never.
She said, you want to have a toughness contest to get to the rim? I'll take it. So Claude goes to the bench with her second foul. Brianna Scott comes in, and here is Nika Mule. Numbers on her game so far today. I mentioned the game Wednesday night at St. John's. You know, we've seen Nika take a lot of threes this year, but all of her points were driving to the rim, and had 9 on Wednesday.
That's where she's at her best, getting, you know, finding holes in the defense and penetrating. She can either take it to the rim or kick it out for a 3.
Now the emotional leader of the Huskies clapping her hands as her team sets the defense, saying, let's go. 10 against 10 here, Fauntleroy and Mule. Moore, guarded by Uhas.
There's a mismatch down low.
Scott drives between defenders and gets the bucket. Brianna Scott for Georgetown. Griffin runs ahead of the field. Couldn't get it to go. Does not. Yes, did draw the whistle. So Aubrey Griffin will shoot more free throws. That is the second. No, check that. That's going to be on Ransom. Sorry.
And she turned around like, what?
That is her third, by the way. That's big.
It was a tough catch. It certainly looked like there was contact. But Aubrey Griffin's momentum was taking her that way as well.
So the leading scorer, rebounder, leader in assists and steals for Georgetown has 3 fouls with the third quarter barely underway. That's a travel. Moore wasn't even looking for that pass as she curled around, and by the time she saw the ball coming, couldn't put on the brakes. Not the way James Howard wanted to start this third quarter for his Georgetown team.
Yeah, talking about those 5-minute increments, the first 5 minutes of this third quarter is so critical to a team, particularly when they finished with some good momentum in that first half.
Another foul whistled down low.
It's been a physical game the entire contest. The officials let so much go early. The hard part is when they change it midstream and then start calling a lot of fouls.
And that was the third on Moore. Uhas in trouble and turns it over to Ransom.
Just some ill-advised, almost illogical passes we've seen UConn throw today.
Fauntleroy shifty. Tangled up inside. They will call a foul on Griffin. No, I'll call it on Bennett. Offensive foul. 33.
Let's see the action down low.
Ooh, yeah, that's a hip check.
She's a big, strong body. Grace Ann Bennett, listed as 6'3".
Maybe in the days of the Hartford Whalers here, that would have been applauded.
And she's grabbing Aaliyah Edwards' arm.
So quickly, Bennett has 3 fouls. And suddenly 3 players with 3 fouls for Georgetown.
It's been a very chippy game. It's been very physical. I've said it from the beginning. The refs are now tightening up with their whistles.
So that is already the 5th foul of this quarter for Georgetown. Aaliyah Edwards at the free throw line. UConn today 13 of 15 from the free throw line.
You didn't jinx her. Good job.
I didn't mention Edwards. I'm not getting stuck with the announcer jinx. 10-point UConn lead. Whistle and a foul. Aaliyah Edwards will pick up her second.
Second on Edwards. First team foul of the quarter.
Is it just me, or does this feel like suddenly the game with the most whistles we've seen so far this season?
Yeah, and it doesn't make for pretty basketball.
Ransom, the nice drive on Griffin. Got the shot away, no. Juhas will not touch the ball. It'll be knocked out of bounds off Georgetown. Jenkins, last contact with it. Kelsey Ransom 0 for 6 from the floor today, the leading scorer for Georgetown.
See, they're calling these fouls now. The fouls have been occurring, and the contact has been occurring all game. The officials, I'm sure they got a talking to at halftime as well. They're now starting to make these calls.
So that's the second on Fauntleroy. And already into the bonus in this quarter are the Huskies. So Nika Mule will step to the line for free throws. Not saying what she's done so far today. The whistles are piling up. That is 3 of the starting 5 for Georgetown with 3 fouls.
They got to hope they don't get a fourth before the end of this quarter.
We're not even halfway through the quarter. Brown tries to set the trap. Broke in. Whistle. That's going to be Mule. She's got to be careful with that reaction. That'll be her first personal.
First personal, second.
So a 20-second shot clock here for the Hoyas to work with. Ransom almost lost it to the aggressive Aubrey Griffin. There's Fauntleroy. Inside Jenkins. And the offensive foul.
Aubrey Griffin got to the spot, got there in time. Outside the arc. What hustle by Aubrey Griffin.
So add Ariel Jenkins to the list of Georgetown players with 3 fouls.
It's very difficult to play a game when the officials call it so differently in both halves.
And a foul as UConn tried to go to the rim. That'll be on Brianna Scott. So Huskies on a 6-0 run over these last couple of minutes.
And I think some of Georgetown's physicality in that first half kept UConn on their heels. I think that's partly why, or part of the reason why they struggled on the offensive end. UConn didn't have any kind of flow. They didn't cut aggressively. They didn't do what we're used to seeing. And I think a lot of that had to do with the way Georgetown kind of punched first, and UConn didn't punch back.
It was a game we saw Princeton. When Princeton put on late in the game the 1 for 2 on the free throw. There's the intense pressure, and UConn had trouble handling it. That was a pretty intense Georgetown defense in the first quarter and a half. Ransom kicks to the corner for Scott. No. Rebound will be off. Griffin saves it.
Griffin doing the little things.
Lopez Seneschal. No for 3. Juhas gets fouled on the offensive rebound and an attempt for a putback.
What an offensive rebound for Juhas. Lopez Seneschal a little cold from long range, but Juhas getting in great position and getting herself to the line.
So that will be Christina Moore going to the bench with her 4th foul, and Dorka Juhas stepping to the free throw line. UConn is on an 8-0 run over the last 2 minutes and 34 seconds and haven't made a shot from the floor. All of those have been from the free throw line.
UConn has attempted 22 free throws. Georgetown has attempted 4.
Go back and see what that number was at halftime, too. UConn had attempted 10 free throws at halftime. So they've had 12 free throws in this third quarter, and we haven't even played 5 minutes. Here's Bennett on Uhas. Ransom off the fake, flops to the floor, doesn't get a call, and doesn't get the bucket. UConn with numbers. Mule puts her head down, ran into nothing. There was no place to go with that. And that leads us to the media timeout halfway through the third quarter. UConn outscoring Georgetown 16-2 in this period thus far. Huskies have built up a 15-point lead halfway through this third quarter. Como's Court Vision is brought to you by Yale New Haven Health.
Well, Aubrey Griffin has played really good basketball. All right. There's, you see her guarding the ball. Look at the footwork. Keeps her hands in the air. Doesn't commit the foul. Hands in the air. Good footwork. Just contests the shot. Now in this next play, you see her down here. Telestrator's not working at the moment, but look at the great job getting there outside the arc. Just really smart basketball play, getting there, getting that position, taking the charge.
You were coloring, I promise. Talk about Griffin making an impact in so many ways, right? She's 0 for 2 from the floor tonight, but she's 5 for 6 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, got an assist, and of course, the defense you just talked about. So this UConn lead has been built off of a combination of Georgetown turnovers and the fouls that have caused a lot of those turnovers. UConn in this period 11 for 12 from the free throw line. Here's Ransom, defended by Lopez Seneschal. Scott, now Bennett. Working on Uhas, lost control. In single digits. Fauntleroy calling for help. Tries to slide past the defense. Uhas was there. And the shot clock runs out.
Another good defensive possession. Nice help by Uhas coming from that backside. The ball never hit the rim.
Now this third quarter, the first 5 minutes of it has not been kind to Georgetown. The second 5 hasn't started off well. Remember, just joining us, this was a 1-point ball game at halftime. There'll be a foul inside. Set on Myrick's. It is Kalia Myrick's, a sophomore from Hamilton, New Jersey. That'll be her second.
You can see Georgetown looking around at each other like, what's going on? The stuff they got away with in the first half, they're not getting away with in the second.
Yeah, they're going to test the depth of their bench if this trend continues, for sure. So Aaliyah Edwards at the free throw strike for UConn. First Husky player into double figures in scoring today. That's 11 points to go with 5 rebounds for Edwards. An 11-0 run for UConn now. Timeout, Georgetown. Well, they want to talk it over. Can't blame them. Well, there's the story. What was a 1-point game at halftime, Huskies have put 16 more onto that lead in this third quarter and have a 17-point advantage as we check with Maria Marino.
Thanks, Alan. The Huskies were joined in practice the last couple days by an all-time great player in Tina Charles, which was a huge benefit, especially to Aaliyah Edwards, who told me that aside from the fundamental pointers, Tina also gave her the advice to know when to demand the ball and understand that no one is going to help you be a dominant player. That has to come from within you. Aaliyah also loved playing her one-on-one. She was excited for the challenge and said Tina won, but she thinks they'll have to run it back.
Yeah, it's fun to see some of the footage pop up on social media. There are some of the numbers on one of the all-time greats for UConn. Just part of this this program, that the all-time greats always come back and stay in touch. So Georgetown out of the timeout, trying to get something going offensively this quarter. Bennett blocked by Edwards. Rebound inside, and as Scott tries to go back up with a cheese foul. It's going to be on Aubrey Griffin.
I thought it was pretty well defended. Just really good hustle there by Georgetown. And that foul could have gone against Aaliyah Edwards.
Look at AZ Edwards, if you went with us earlier. AZ Fudd, there's Aaliyah. I'm thinking Aaliyah Edwards you were talking about, sorry. There's AZ Fudd, who went to the bench with 3.5 minutes to go in the second quarter after banging knees with Ariel Jenkins at Georgetown. She will not return to the ballgame. So an 11-1 run over the last 4.5 minutes for UConn. Talked about a lot of the fouls. That was deflected, so it's not a backcourt violation. Lopez Seneschal got the two. Talked about a lot of the foul discrepancy during that last timeout called by Georgetown. Their coach, James Howard, spent almost all of the timeout not in the huddle with his players, but in a huddle with 2 of the 3 officials on the court.
Trying to get his point across.
He's not one of those real demonstrative guys on the sideline, but he got a little demonstrative. Fauntleroy, what a nice move by the freshman to the hoop. Georgetown front court pressure broken easily by UConn.
Lee Edwards was wide open.
Griffin hesitated on the 3, kicks to Juhas, top of the key, no. And a rebound nicely done by Brianna Scott for Georgetown. There's Ransom. Well defended, and there's Griffin with the steal.
Good active hands by Aubrey Griffin.
Lopez Seneschal quickly closed off by Scott. Huskies will slow it down and set the half court. Lopez Seneschal shot short, and that'll be turned over to Georgetown there.
She just hasn't been herself on the offensive end. And that's going to happen, you know. She's shot the ball so well all season. Struggling a little bit here today. I like how a couple possessions ago, she put the ball on the floor and took the 12-footer instead of the 17-footer.
There's Fauntleroy again, feeling it, the freshman from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. And a steal, a turnover. Edwards will get the rebound. They'll leave 2 Hoyas behind. It's 5 on 3. Edwards, short, gets her own miss. No foul, but it's knocked out of bounds off of Scott. It'll be UConn basketball.
He just shook his head and was sitting down. Some of the stuff you just can't believe what your eyes are showing you. Like you can see her body language there. She's disappointed in herself. She's a much better player than she just demonstrated.
One of the leading players in field goal percentage in all of college basketball this year, and missed that short one. Wow. Rifles through hands. Nobody could pull it in wearing a white jersey.
Not a great pass from Juhas from the top of the key.
Georgetown will slow it down. UConn over their last 4 from the floor. Here's Fauntleroy. Now Bennett. The freshman for 3, no. Crashing bodies together for the rebound, and Edwards came away with it, then threw it away. Ransom, defended by Mule, tries to draw the foul. That'll be an offensive foul on Ransom.
That's her 4th. And she shot that up and in with her left hand, too.
The signal the official made it look like a little push off with the right arm while she shot that with the left like that.
A little, yeah. You know what? She did. I mean, the Mule dramatics are interesting.
Excellent.
But she did initiate that contact with her shoulder.
So Ransom goes to the bench with 4 fouls. Ines Betancourt is into the ball game for UConn. Lopez Seneschal goes to the bench. Last minute of play in this third quarter here in Hartford, a quarter that's seeing the Huskies blow this one open. Though it has not been pretty all the way through. 7 to shoot.
What kind of offense is this?
Not much. That'll be a time violation and a turnover by UConn.
I love how Paige Becker's got up off the bench to pick up Mule.
Always looking to impact the game even when she can't be on the floor.
That's a really good teammate.
20 seconds to go, quarter number 3 here at XL Center in downtown Hartford. Fauntleroy again from outside. No, Uhas and Edwards collide. Uhas gets the rebound. 5 to shoot. You looking for room. Betancourt will travel. And that leaves just 0.6 of a second to go in this quarter.
So you think about that play right there. Mule, why are you giving the ball to Betancourt, who just came in? She's a freshman. And then why not just shoot the ball at Betancourt?
Well, a third quarter both favorable and frustrating for UConn and its fans, I would think. End of 3 in Hartford. Ready for the fourth quarter at XL Center in Hartford. Our game reset is presented by your local New England Honda dealers. Georgetown led after 1. Huskies led by 1 at halftime. UConn outscoring Georgetown 20-8 in the third to leave us where we are. And yet, despite the 13-point lead, kind of an awkward third period.
Yeah, awkward is a good word. And you know, you think about who their leader is and who's got the ball in her hands. Nika Mule. I think she struggled with her decision-making, and she's played more minutes. She hasn't sat. She's played 30 minutes of this game. And she just, you know, she with 9 points, 4 assists, but she also has 4 turnovers. And the when to and then when not to, I think she has struggled with today, and that it reflects on the offensive end for them.
Storylines as we start the fourth here. Georgetown with a lot of foul trouble on the floor and on the bench. And for UConn, they've turned the ball over 20 times in the ball game already. There's a Georgetown turnover. Aaliyah Edwards on the run. Will get fouled on the floor. They'll call that. That will be Victoria Rivera, the freshman, with the contact.
Good active. I just like Aaliyah Edwards just keeping an eye on the ball, knowing what's going on from that backside, stepped up, stole the pass, and then got fouled pretty hard at the end.
So Huskies inbound the ball with 27 on the timer. Mule, Betancourt, Griffin, Uhas, and Edwards, the 5 on the floor for UConn. Skip pass. Griffin gets it back to Edwards. Right-hander, good off glass.
You know, when they pass the ball side to side and attack the defense, they get the shot they want.
And with some of the foul trouble that Georgetown has, you have to wonder how aggressive they can be defending the paint like they were earlier in the game that gave UConn so much trouble. There's a ball on the floor. Rivera gathers it up. Bennett gets it to a cutting Myrick, who gets fouled.
So Nika Mule with the ball in her hand. See her pointing there with that left arm, dictating the offense. Much better offensive sequence for UConn.
So that was on Aaliyah Edwards, her third.
And you see her talk, Nika Mule talking to Ines Betancourt, the freshman in the game, going over to Mule, and Mule happy to tell her what to do.
Georgetown shooting its 8th free throw of the game. UConn has shot 24. Heavily whistled third period, part of the storyline of this one. There's Edwards from just inside the free throw line, and it's good.
It's open. I love the catch, turn, and shoot. Not any wasted movement.
15 and 9 for Leah Edwards in the ball game. That is Claude, Jada Claude, over the top of Betancourt. Transfer from Morehead State.
Not a lot of motion here.
There's Aubrey Griffin. No. Rebound through Aaliyah Edwards' hands, and it's going to be out of bounds off UConn. I was looking for something to say there because there wasn't much going on. So Lopez Seneschal back into the ball game for Betancourt for UConn. And with 8 minutes to go in this fourth quarter, the ball in the hands of Kennedy Fauntleroy, freshman sensation for this Georgetown team. Ransom back in the ball game, shoots, misses, rebound, wrestled away by Lopez Seneschal. Griffin runs, looking for room, draws a call.
Late whistle.
It's going to be on Fauntleroy for third. So we got Ransom with 4, Fauntleroy with 3, Moore with 4, Jenkins with 3, Bennett with 3 for Georgetown.
And all of those whistles translate to an ugly basketball game.
Yeah, there are some times when the game has a flow and a beauty to it.
Not today.
Just joining us, this has not been one of those. 1 of 2 on the free throws.
But days like today call for mental toughness and certainly physical toughness, but UConn just has to stay mentally sharp.
Claude, guarded by Lopez Seneschal. Shot clock at 5. Fauntleroy jab steps, tosses it up. Just before the shot clock expired, excellent effort to try and get the rebound by Claude for Georgetown, but it went out of bounds off her. And it's UConn's basketball.
Newell was guarding Bennett with 6'3" forward. There was a mismatch. She was fighting like heck inside.
So Dorka Juhas goes to the bench, and Amari DeBerry makes her first appearance in the ball game. Edwards. Yes.
They could do that all day if they want to.
It's kind of a slow starting ball game for Aaliyah Edwards. Had a few turnovers in the first few minutes because of the Georgetown defensive pressure, but she's rolling now. 17 points and 9 rebounds.
It's not a bad idea to give her the ball every single time.
Bennett finds her way through DeBerry and gets the bucket.
Really good move there by Bennett.
It'll be a thrown away pass and a UConn turnover.
Those are the turnovers that literally make you crazy as a coach. That look says it all.
It's going to be one of those GIFs online in a minute. Look like that. Bennett gets away from DeBerry and gets the bucket.
Well, DeBerry went for the steal and paid for it.
And Lopez Seneschal will get fouled, and that will be on Fauntleroy, her 4th. Juhas comes right back into the ball game for DeBerry after a couple of moments and probably a teaching moment on the bench. Juhas today, 7 points, 9 rebounds. Tough shooting day for Juhas. Only 1 of 6 from the floor, but 5 of 6 from the free throw strike. Griffin defended by Fauntleroy. Shot clock at 10. Griffin keeps on moving. Nice ball movement from UConn.
Aubrey Griffin's so good moving without the basketball. She just never stops.
Good pass from Lopez Seneschal, quickly in. This Claude goes between defenders, and they're going to call a foul on that.
Huskies foul number 3, Edwards.
You see, she passes the ball, just keeps moving.
Fourth personal foul.
And the nice pass from Lopez Seneschal.
Number 12, Claude.
They called that on Aaliyah Edwards. So that would be Aaliyah's 4th foul. Talked about the aggressive game and the numbers of fouls called, and they've started to add up a little bit on the UConn side as well, as they've answered some of the aggressiveness physically. Edwards drives, cut off. Mule calls for the ball. Gets it to Uhas inside, can't go. Jenkins held her ground, does not get whistled for the foul.
No, I think that was more what Uhas didn't do as opposed to anything that Georgetown may have done.
Scott, no, wide left. Halfway through quarter number 4 here at XL Center in Hartford. What has been a very aggressive, physical ball game between UConn and Georgetown. Nice pass into Uhas from Mule.
A good catch and finish by Uhas as well.
Six assists for Mule today. It's going to be a 3-second violation or a 5-second violation? 3. Thank you. Timeout on the floor. 4 minutes to go in the ball game here in Hartford. Dorka Uhas with 9 for the Huskies. Back in downtown Hartford at the XL Center, the scoreline by quarter. You see Georgetown only trailed by 1 at the half, but UConn broke it open in the 3rd. Playing again a level 4th quarter. Here are the Hoyas and Huskies. Aaliyah Edwards has been leading the way for UConn in this one.
Well, you know, she's been more aggressive offensively here in the 2nd half. I love the quick shot at that elbow. She's becoming so good at that foul line area of flashing from the opposite side, coming to the ball, just catching and turning and shooting without missing a beat.
Aaliyah had 7 points, 5 rebounds at halftime. She's got 17 points and 10 rebounds now. And as you saw, picks up another double-double on this season. Good turnout today. A lot of youngsters here to see the UConn women's team play. Second of 2 played in this building today. The UConn men losing to St. John's earlier today, 85-74. Lopez Seneschal, Edwards, Uhas, Mule, and Griffin on the floor for UConn. Mule launches a 3 and gets it.
Much better ball movement. I liked it. Went all the way to the left side into the post, skipped it to the other side, and a nice finish by Mule.
On the floor, kicked. That'll be a Georgetown turnover, UConn basketball. So Nika Mule into double figures in scoring with 12 points. Her season high is 16 for scoring. Remember, she had the double-double against Seton Hall, 16 and 11. Huskies go play the Pirates in New Jersey on Tuesday night. You'll see it live here on SNY.
See, Lopez Seneschal didn't shoot that ball. She hasn't been shooting great, and I like the decision to not shoot it.
Nice feed between the double team to Uhas.
And what a nice pass there to finish that possession.
$7-0 UConn run over the last minute and 11. Farberoy, they try to roll, passes over the top of Jenkins, and it'll be UConn basketball. Our take it to the rim moment brought to you by Duncan is that last play we just saw.
Nice double there by Georgetown. UConn did a nice job of splitting that defense and finding the open cutter in Juhas.
Good cup of coffee would feel good right now. Lopez Seneschal for three and got it.
Big smile on her face after she knocked that in.
1 for 6 from three on the day before that one. Ransom too strong. Rebound bounces off Bennett. Edwards tries to outrun the pack. Shot won't go, and it'll go off of Lopez Seneschal and be Georgetown's ball. Aaliyah Edwards with three blue-shirted Hoyas chasing her to the rim.
Well, you know, she's done this before, showing her handle. She was almost going too fast.
So coming down to 2 minutes to go in this ball game. And a steal for Juhas. She'll get to the rim. Timeout, Georgetown. As just like that, in 2 minutes and 27 seconds, a 12-0 run by UConn. That's what we were used to seeing from this team this season. 2 minutes to go in the ball game. Reminder, Gary Apple and Kara Walters standing by with a full recap of today's game. Plus, you get to hear Gino Auriemma's post-game news conference on the UConn Women's Basketball post-game show presented by your local New England Honda dealers. Coming up right after the game. Said there were a lot of young fans here today.
Happy ones, too.
Sure. That's fun. Well, a little fourth quarter burst here again for UConn after Georgetown had played them evenly for the first part of the fourth quarter. Amari DeBerry back into the ball game for UConn, as is Yanesh Betancourt. Inside of 2 to go for UConn. Betancourt tried to kick it back out to Griffin, and a turnover by UConn. Well, headlines from this one. First, Azzi Fudd, and how is she? That'll probably be the first question in the post-game press conference to Gino. Shot inside to Morgan Lee, 31, the freshman from Connecticut, from the Kent School. Gets on the board for Georgetown here in Hartford. So the Azzi Fudd status. If you weren't with us in the second quarter, Fudd banged knees with a Georgetown player, left the ball game, has not returned. And it was the same knee she banged that she injured at Notre Dame back in December. There's another UConn turnover. Turnover's been kind of a thing today. That'll be the 23rd of the day for the Huskies. And the outside shot goes for the freshman Victoria Rivera. And Georgetown, after having to travel up by bus.
Yeah, when they're playing, had mechanical issues.
Played the game on their terms for a good measure of it until the Huskies finally snapped that in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think they've got to feel really good about it. You know, they competed hard. They made it difficult for UConn to do what they wanted to do. I think James Howard's got to feel pretty good about his team.
Return game down in D.C. will be played on February 11th at the arena where the Washington WNBA franchise plays. Not on campus McDonough Gym, but at the 4,000 seat, they call it the Entertainment and Sports Arena. Look forward to seeing that for the first time. So the final half minute of this one for UConn. Betancourt for three, too strong. So UConn going to go to 15-2 on the season, 8-0 in the Big East as Brianna Scott gets a final bucket for Georgetown. And after only leading by 1 at halftime, UConn will win it by 15. 65-50 is your final score today here in Hartford, to the appreciation of the home crowd.
I tell you, as the season goes along, you're going to have good days and bad days. and you just have to take the W, because sometimes it's not pretty, and you don't necessarily like the way you play, but a win is a win is a win.
Well, UConn does get the win. Fair to say it wasn't pretty, but it was gritty. And our player of the game, presented by CSCU, Aaliyah Edwards, with another double-double on the day today. 17 points, 11 rebounds, a couple of assists to go with it. And for Edwards, the junior, leading the way in a very physical game today for the Huskies. We'll wait to see what the news is on AZ Fudd, along with everyone else. Aubrey Griffin, 6 of 8 from the free throw line today. And now the head coach is with Maria Marino.
Coach, you did not appreciate your team's effort in the first half. How do you feel they responded in the second?
I thought we came out of the locker room. I thought we did a bunch of really good things. You know, we did a much better job of getting the ball to our post players, you know, get to the free throw line a little bit. Points were just hard to come by today. You know, it's one of those games where the whole flow of the game was disrupted, and you have to figure out a way to get your points somehow, you know, and today it happened to be kind of an ugly scrum, you know, and hopefully Tuesday, you know, we'll have our energy back.
Hopefully. And how about Aaliyah Edwards in particular? How do you think she stuck with it, finishing with 17 points, 11 rebounds?
Yeah, you know, Aaliyah's been pretty consistent, you know, almost the whole season. That's pretty much what she's been doing. I think if she sticks to that mindset of being aggressive, and being aggressive on the rebounding end of it, and being aggressive on the defensive end of it, and taking advantage of the open shots that she gets. You know, right now she's just playing confident basketball, and you know, in a game like this, our big guys were going to be the difference.
AZ Fudd had to leave the game, and so soon after she came back from injury. How's she doing, and what's your overall concern level?
Well, I don't know. You know, I think she tweaked something and got some ice on it. It didn't sound, you know, serious at all. I guess we'll know a little bit later when we get in there and the doctors have a better chance of looking at her. But it's just par for the course, I guess, right? Who knows?
Thanks, Coach. We'll see you at Seton Hall.
Thanks.
Post-game thoughts of the Hall of Fame coach Chino Auriemma. Aaliyah Edwards, one of 2 Huskies with a double-double today. UConn wins by 15.